get some action done, and maybe something for them to look at in the future.
Well, we're about to find out. A big welcome if you're just joining us here. This is the PGL Americas Minor, and we're getting very close to the end of it here. CLG and Cloud9. One of these two teams is going to be playing Immortals later on today. That's going to also, no matter what happens, going to be a very exciting match. It's CLG starting on the CT side here on Inferno, and Cloud9 on the terrorist side. They're bringing the bomb over towards the apartments, while just a little bit of a fake or a little bit of a presence in the team mid here. So this could be interesting. They could be trying to lure, if they make enough noise over the apartment side or even get a kill, they could be trying to lure someone out of Banana. That's actually sort of a pop strat that we use fairly often.
It's something that's possible with FNS pushed all the way up down to tree. Kusta will be baiting for him in this scenario. They haven't taken the bait. Pop Flash goes over mid, and there's not going to be any movement out of the players from Banana, and the attack on A is coming in.
They do have one flashbang there from Skadoodle being set up. Goes all the way over the roof. That's really high up, so I'm not sure it's too effective, really. Ricky will go down, and look at Shroud doing a lot of damage. He will be nothing taking down Ethan, and Cutler falls next in line. So now it's Finesse and Kusta trying to stop the bomb, but he can't do it. Finesse needed just one more bullet there, and it would have been done. Maybe they could have actually won the round, but now it's looking tricky, even with that kill. 2-on-3, and they are walking into a three-way crossfire here. How do they break it open? They don't have any kits, and currently no grenades either. Kusta doing his best to find some headshots, but he's locked in, and Stewie will take him down, and Cloud9 win the first round.
Yeah, Shroud just melted that A defense, jumping into the pit, grabbing two quick frags. Glock long range towards mini pit arch side there. That was nice to see. One of the things I think was interesting was how early they were happy to use that smoke. They didn't have a lot of utility as it was a pistol round, used it to cover off mid, which means that, you know, CTs will normally go for that duel early to pick down middle. They have the USPs, it's the better weapon in that scenario, and get a lot of information. That smoke meant they couldn't do that. They had to just play more of a passive setup. And from there, Cloud9 waited out for any aggression. Nothing came in, had a nice little out palace strat or app, sorry, with one flash, and away you go, make the frags you need, and simple as that. The thing which is interesting now is CLG opting to force buy back, and on a map like this, Anders, you have to say it's quite easy to set up crossfires with those CZs. You can be very effective in close ranges, and if you wait out the time, the Ts eventually have to come into those close quarter duels.
You're right, but there's a counter argument to that as well, which is that the sort of traditional, the grand old way of playing Inferno is that once you're on the CT side, all you want is M4 smokes and Molotovs, so you can buy time forever and ever, because everywhere is a choke point on Inferno.
Yeah.
So if you can just keep the smokes, like hold them long enough, and keep, you know, Molotoving and smoking, you just buy so much time. So I'm not saying that's going to be impossible with this kind of a buy, but it'll make it a bit more difficult in the fourth round. So
yeah, I think on this new version of Inferno, right, not being able to throw the smokes from the A bomb site to cover off Banana is a factor, which means, sure, you know, you can still use all those or use all of the utility to cut off the choke points, but you can't do it from one side of the map to the other. So
and it's huge that you mentioned that.
Yeah. You have to play your rotations a little bit better in that scenario.
Yeah, that's something that people forget about, because we've talked about all the changes to top banana and everything, but actually the one that goes from arch to top banana is maybe one of the most important smokes that's been removed. Certainly causes a lot of issues. I haven't seen many attempts for anyone to try and fix that. You know, maybe you could have the arch player could rotate back and forth towards B at reasonable times if you thought it was possible or whatever. There could be some other ways to get that smoke back there, but no one's really tried it yet. Easy enough top banana control being taken here by Cloud9. They haven't really been presented with any targets at this point in time, and looks like they are just going to fall back. They've got the bomb really far back as well.
Yeah,
so.
A key factor if they do decide to go B is when FNS uses this smoke. Over towards that site, he does have a flashbang and a smoke grenade, and that could really stifle the attack if Cloud9 leave it too late. They're kind of just posturing right now, waiting for any aggression coming out of these guys from CLG, but something that I've been very... I guess impressed is the way that CLG are just happy to sit back in the sides and make multi-frags. It's not something easy to do. You can get a bit jumpy when you only have these pistols, and normally you want to go out and find frags, but they're more than happy to let them come to them.
Yeah, and it's surprising because it doesn't seem like much. You know, you say, oh, well, if he saves the smoke, maybe he can do something, but actually it's surprising how many top teams will make mistakes when that smoke goes down that around, 30-second mark. They feel like they're suddenly under a lot of pressure, and sometimes they'll just even run through it because they just almost run out of time. But it looks like they've swapped around to the A side of the map, which is a pretty good choice at the moment. Cutler goes down to Stewie, and now there is a slight crossfire here, but it gets broken wide open, and not even any trouble here for Cloud9 at all.
I was going to, say that CLG did a really good job then of not over-rotating. That smoke and flash from FNS came in handy towards B. It smoked off the choke point flash so they could see if and get some information, and they found out nothing was there. Cutler probably should have just fallen back to that A site. With 20 seconds left in the round, if they want to wrap from Arch, you still have to force them into those close crossfires, right? So would have been more beneficial for them in that situation, but it looked like he just wanted to grab a flank, maybe catch them as they were going up Diggity side. And that's no frags on the board oh, sorry, FNS got one there, didn't he? But very little damage for the boys from CLG in that round.
Yeah. You're gonna have to remind me. I mean, I know it's become a meme at this point. Where's Diggity? Because I've seen an Australian map once where everywhere was.
It's porch side, quad side.
All right.
Yeah. One of the interesting things is Kusta has saved up enough money, so he will have an AWP next round. It's just they're not as effective on this map as some of the others. You can still be very annoying with AWPs, but not to the same level. Here's going to be the eco farm coming in for the guys from Cloud9.
Yeah,
Two easy frags.
The timing, the grenade on top of the UMP, it's got to hurt. Yeah, the stack over here, I mean, you get those two people top banana, you probably think, oh, there can't be that many more people there. But in fact, there is. Sadly, they only have USPs, so can't expect too much. Although Ethan will get a kill. They're going to pick up the bomb in T-mid now and just probably try and get that plant over at the A side to make sure that nothing goes out of control here. Automatic being put under some pressure, and oh no, the team kill. Ricky, he's been really lining it up today.
He wants all the frags himself. But that little eco strat there is an oldie but a goodie, right? It's rush banana and have your two B holders die.
Yes.
And then the other three players stack the site. And as simple as it sounds, what it normally does is draw the Ts into just rushing into the site. It's like, okay, normal B holders are dead, let's just go. And that's what you'd expect out of a situation like that. Knowing that they only had USPs, or that there was likely that they weren't going to have anything really upgraded in that situation, makes it less scary. If that was the first round,
yes,
the first eco round, I would have been a bit more tentative in the way I would approach that, because that stack with CZs, with 5.7s, is a lot more dangerous.
All right, now nothing. Just the one who's out hunting for Ricky, trying to see if he can maybe steal the UMP back. I mean, UMP can be pretty effective on a map like this,
sure,
even in the next round.
Definitely something to hang on to, I think, because like you mentioned, that utility is going to be vital in a situation like this. And the guys from CLG, you know, we have a Famis on FNS. We don't even have a Molotov on Cutler. Ricky, because of that save, is able to get all the utility. And Kusta didn't actually opt for the AWP. He's gone with an M4, but he does have all the utility and a defuse kit. So I'm surprised they didn't go for the AWP. Maybe they have something planned.
We'll find out for sure. They do have the smokes, but they're missing 2 Molotovs, so that could definitely be a factor later on. Every little bit matters on this Inferno map. I used to always look for around the sort of sub 40-second mark. Like, that's when I look at how many smokes are left basically on the CT side. And if there are none, then I would say that's a bit of a shame. But we'll see if it's going to be different this time on the new version. Kusta and FNS get 2 great kills. That's very unlikely that you can get that kind of battle on Banana, especially the new one, but that's just perfect.
They didn't take that fight straight away. It was something we were actually talking about before the game went live, doing Banana retakes. They did that very effectively, giving themselves a 3v5 advantage early on.
Great flashbang being thrown from Pit by a teammate. Automatic decides to move up, but he's already taken a bit of damage, and he's going to be very careful here. We'll find Ricky, though, when he realizes FNS is there, but he can't get the kill. Crouches right under. Ethan takes one, and now a lot of trouble for nothing. He will go down. They only lose Ricky in that round, and they manage to swap out for 2, actually 3 AKs. What a great steal. Yeah,
that B player there basically won the round, right? It forced the guys from Cloud9 to go to that A site. They were in the number disadvantage and just got picked off one at a time. It's going to be much more difficult on a map like this for players like Automatic and Stewie to find that free space. You know, you can't really take too much away from the CTs unless you're willing to push through smokes, which we know they definitely are, but you're going right into the lion's den in that moment.
It's very dangerous especially on this map, I feel like. With some of the other maps where you push through smokes, there's still more of an opening, like the architecture around you is a bit wider, so you can maybe still do it. A lot of these sort of positions on Inferno really are choke points to an extreme degree.
Yeah. If you just look at the minimap right now, you can see how much that Banana retake has stifled Cloud9's approach. They didn't go into Banana early at all. They're only taking that map territory now, which is almost better than using a smoke, right? It's delayed them. And now they're going to put down a smoke, which is going to buy them another 20 seconds. And they should have one more on Kusta to lay down. So this will get them down to about that 40-second mark you were talking about.
Yeah, and that's really interesting. Ricky hasn't got any kills yet in Archway, but he is just waiting for it. This is definitely an off angle. Like, if you're coming around this corner and you're Cloud9, you won't expect someone to be standing right here. You'd be expecting him to be a little bit further to the right. So we'll see if they're going to be ready. Maybe they will flash their way in. Here's a grenade going over. It's going to land behind him, though. Let's see, automatic. No flash at all, but he still gets the headshot on Ricky. That's so unfortunate. I don't think he was expecting it. Just really great reaction coming out. Now the bomb is dropped. Ethan trying to do more. He can't transfer that spray on. And that's going to open up the whole A-bomb site. Finesse and Kusta going for the retake. How are they going to manage this?
Jeez, this has to be one of the hardest bomb sites to retake in all of Counter-Strike at the moment, and no utility makes it even more difficult. So unless they can find a miracle here, someone overextending from Cloud9, they might just go for the save.
They need that quick, and you're right, no opportunity's been given. They are going to be falling back, and that will be a round for Cloud9, resetting CLG right when things are going so well.
So they are, or I would, if I was then forced into this next round, right? We're going to have 2.6, which will, get bumped up a little bit for FNS. Kusta's 2.7 will get bumped up as well. Should be enough money on Ethan to buy for himself, so they can get guns across the board for the next gun round because so many survived in the last one that they won. So that's very important. And there is a chance for them, if they do win this next gun round, it's going to slowly hamper the money for Cloud9. So definitely worth the buy here. Just maybe another aggressive approach somewhere on the map, or maybe some kind of mid-round move to take territory back. Something that I'm really passionate about, Anders, I want to start a foundation for it, maybe you'll join, is transitional defense on this map. You want to make sure you're jiggle peeking all the corners when you can, because what that does is, even if you get into a duel and you just shoot a bullet and fall back taking no damage, it forces the Ts to take longer, take more utility to clear that out, because there's always the chance you'll be there. You never want to sit in pit straight away, you never want to just sit in the site straight away. Always play for a little bit of information. I'm not saying pick down mid, but the pace has changed.
Wow, they're going to run Ricky right down. He's not having a good game at all right now. Big contrast to the last one. Ethan comes pushing through. He almost takes down Skadoodle. He's down to 19 health. Shroud up in the graveyard, takes down Cutler. And once again, even worse than last time here for CLG. If the retake was going to be difficult 2-on-3, now it's 2-on-4. They are trying to see if they could find just one opening that they need, but I'm not sure it's really worth it here. Man, this is rough.
Well, they were playing a transitional defense, but they got caught off guard. When those nades come in, I don't think they were expecting them to be rushing up middle and got caught with their pants down. If they did the old sit in pit and sit in sight like I was saying not to do, they would have been in a much better position. And Cloud9 changing pace, they're mixing it up. It's good to see a bit of variation in their play, not just relying on fast plays. They have done slow stuff as well, so changed by them. A new look Cloud9 today, I think.
It's a good jump from Kusta. Not too difficult to actually make that one if you try. I never thought I'd seen in an actual official game. Chad, do you want to define it for us, for any new viewers that are tuning in and wondering, what do you mean when you say transitional defense? Okay,
so on the CT side, you want to hold the bomb side, obviously, but you need to make sure you're playing for information at certain points. So I would say sitting on the corner of the arch side of middle, not back in the arch, literally on the side where you can see into the mid corridor, right? Same as on the diggity side, the quad side, doing the same thing there. And then for apps or halls, playing at the end, jiggle peeking that point. You don't want to give away the free information for the Ts, right? You don't want them to be able to walk up with no contact, not having to use any utility, not keeping them honest at all. Because if you do that, they're going to get to the end with everything they have in their arsenal to be able to execute on you for free. And that's not something which is necessarily a good thing.
So just trying to use some of the forward positions on the map and make sure that they actually have to get there, and that
it's not even for the kill, it's just for forcing them to use utility and keeping them honest, because if they walk all the way up, you have no information, and you could have so many grenades being thrown your way, and you can only deal with so much.
And it makes for a nice contrast to what's actually happening on the CLG side here in the B bomb side. Obviously there is no way to transition out of this B hold. You're just on the bomb side and ready and waiting, which might work out if they can lure Cloud9 far enough in. But the bomb is all the way back towards T spawn. I mean, Cloud9 aren't really going to do anything, it seems like, until they know what's actually happening.
I love this position from Kusta, right? It's so cool to look through the water on that fountain, sometimes a bit of a cheeky off angle. Stu's going to creep in here under the smoke. Flush comes in, so this is a bit of an awkward play.
Oh man, he's managed to sneak all the way in, but when he jumps up, there's two more people waiting for him. I thought that was so cool, but sadly he didn't realize how many more people were there, so probably a great trade there for CLG, at least in terms of getting the AK and still keeping the M4, but there's absolutely no chance FNS can hold this alone. He's got the FAMAS and he's down in pit and will get run down. So they just save the M4 here and be happy with it, M4 and AK.
Yeah, well, they kind of have to, right? Like I said, there's no way back into this A bomb site unless you have utility, and they definitely don't. Cloud9 have plenty of time to set up in those after plant positions and lock it down. And they shouldn't get too hungry for frags. They don't need them because right now, by keeping CLG with these guns, what it's doing is it's making them take gambles, making them continue to hold on to them, and maybe force buy them down the track. Something that I think is interesting is that move that we just saw out of Cloud9. That wasn't just Stewie pushing in on his own. That was a practice move. And that is something which I'm very happy to see come out of Cloud9 in this instance because sure, it was Stewie the one doing it, and it's a very risky play. But if it happens, that's why we do call him one of the best players on this team. And it's a smart, well, I don't know if it's super smart, but it's an interesting way to kind of get information, get into the site, maybe infiltrate the bomb site without being noticed. And some innovation coming in from the Cloud9 guys, I think, there.
Which is hard to come by in the world of Counter-Strike. Everyone's so busy traveling from events and doing more practices and playing in online leagues and all the rest of it. So it's difficult for people to come up with anything new, it seems, especially on sort of reintroduced maps. I'm kind of excited. Listen, while we have this timeout going on, I want to ask you, because you're one of the people who actually have been in a position to have to do this.
Okay.
We've been talking about the smoke timings once you're on the CT side and, when you want to throw them down and you want to save them, all the rest of it. Now, if you're the in-game leader on the T side, how do you keep track of how many smokes have been thrown all over the map? Don't you need to know at some point if they have any more left, say, and what's going on? It's
pretty simple. When you do the default spread, or you call your default strategy, your players all have to relay that information back to you, right? So when they're playing towards either bomb site, they're calling what smokes are being used when the next one comes in, and it's very easy as the in-game leader if you're sitting in a middle position on the map and you're not having to worry about taking any jewels or holding any forward positions to just grab all that information, work out where it's come from, and then make a decision on where you want to go. If you're doing something a little bit more random and sporadic from time to time, it gets chaotic and then you don't really know what's happening. But in a default spread, it's very easy. All your players know their job. They know they have to relay that information, and that's the importance of communication.
Oh, right. That's very cool. I think that's good to know, because I think when people play in matchmaking, say that's something that never happens. That's a part of the game that's just, gone, essentially. So worth thinking about just where the information comes from and exactly how to figure out what is going on. We've got a new round coming in here, the 8th one in, and looks like there could be another flash from middle to the balcony, and then a straight explosion out right into Cutler's face. And we've got a grenade in hand. That's very dangerous, but spray comes through. The Molotov, it has got cancelled, but it doesn't really matter. FNS will also find a kill on Stewie. Maybe finally a chance for CLG to do something here in the 8th round. They've got the man lead, and Cloud9, how do they find a way back here?
Bit of a missed flash there. We'll get Jordan nothing white in the boiler room, but it's all slowed down. It is a 4-on-3 situation, so not impossible for Cloud9 to pull off here, as they are looking a lot stronger. If they can get Skadoodle up middle and get him to arch side with that AWP, they can find a lot of territory and maybe wrap on the bomb site, and that looks like that's what they're going to do. Skadoodle moves over with nothing. He's going to get a fight in library.
Oh, FNS. He had the right idea the first time, just the shoulder, but then he decides to go for the full peek, and that's dangerous. But Cutler's there, takes one, goes for the second, should be able to. Cutler cleaning up the whole round, 4 kills for him. Magnificent hold coming out.
I just want to point out how powerful that position, that line that Cutler was playing just there is. I think that's the new Imba spot in pit. It used to be like playing behind circular and stuff, right? You get Molotoved out, but there was still a bit of wiggle room. This line just here, I think, is so...
circular?
Before? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we call it dildo.
Yeah, I try to keep it PG.
Since when?
I think that new position right there is super effective. This is the 9th round of the game, Anders, and I don't think I would say that CLG have had a full gun round. And by that I mean not every player on the team has had full utility and kits and the weaponry of choice. They still don't. Ricky doesn't even have any utility.
No, you're right. Definitely an uphill struggle for them at the moment on the CT side. I'm shocked that they're getting so much banana control, but then they don't really seem to know exactly what to do with it. There's a couple of rounds where they won some big fights. Now again, trying to jump out the pit. Ethan from inside the bomb side. Ricky as well picking up a kill, and this is all falling apart. It's great to see Ricky getting put into play. He's been struggling a bit, but now it seems like he's back, and it will be Ethan to close out the round there. Triple for him. Just very, very clean. That was Cloud9 trying again.
Yeah.
Flashed their way out of apartments, and that's 2 times that it's failed.
I don't mind them trying it again, because normally you wouldn't expect the same thing to get thrown at you, and Cutler accidentally bought in a Gev there. Unfortunately, he has dropped it. I'd love to see him use it.
Keep it.
Yeah, we just want to see that come out at least once. But something to note in that situation was they were playing so back in the pit, right? And without information. To build on your banana point, I think once they get it, leave Kusta there with the AWP. He can play that line relatively aggressively, and you can play 4A. That's one of the best ways, I think, to play banana if you don't want to have to worry about using too much utility.
Yeah, and that's an Inferno classic, isn't it?
Yeah.
1B, 4A.
Oldie but a goodie.
Ricky Falling back, but he's got Ethan there as well. And with the lack of rifles on the other side, they're still going to get the kills. Obviously, that was not how that sentence really was supposed to end. Now that leaves Cutler alone on the bomb side. Cloud9, they're going to fall back. They've got the rifles. They're just picking them up and running.
Oh, no. Cutler buying that Negev means he doesn't have any armor.
You can't be serious.
He's naked.
This can't happen. Not like this, Cloud9.
This would be a meltdown.
Yeah, FNS, now is the time to really step it up here. He's got the first kill, not using too many bullets either. Going for a bit more and falling back and reloading. Just staying alive is huge right now. If he could do that, Kusta's covering the line. He can't really get the shot through. He's almost done the damage, but still a great job from FNS here. At least makes it a 2-on-3. Man, you gotta hope that lack of an armor doesn't come back and really haunts them. That could be the worst mistake. Nothing goes down. Automatic, AK, no armor on him. Seems like a very improbable 1-on-3 to win here. Smoke is covering him off, and he's just sneaking inside it, not really moving any further, and he comes out. Cutler is there. It's not going to cost them anything, Chad, but man, that would have been awful.
Imagine if the round fell apart and Cutler was left in a 1v1 versus, say, like a Glock or something, and he just gets his head ripped off. That would be... Oh, you wouldn't live that one down, would you? All right, we're going to see a proper gun round. Someone drop Rick a gun. Yes. There we go. So everyone has everything. This, in my book right here, for the CTs, is a proper full gun round because everybody has all the utility, everyone has the weapons they want, and defuse kits pretty much across the board. So this is the first proper full gun round that I've seen come out from CLG. So let's see if they can make sure to keep the pressure on in this situation. Cloud9 might want to go back to that slower, more reserved play because that was working for them earlier.
This time, bit of an attempt at some banana control from the T side. They haven't been trying that too much, and all that really happens is they take some damage. Looked like there was an opening to maybe take a shot at Kusta, but everyone was flashed, I think. Oh, he spotted it out, and he goes down immediately. That was very risky. I think he must have seen the guy falling in behind the woodlogs, so he was open to 2 different angles as soon as he peeked out there. That's dangerous.
Something today, well, it's not today. It's been almost the whole week. I think Kusta in these matches that have been close with the AWP has looked extremely indecisive. It's like he's asked his girlfriend where they want to go for dinner, and she's gone, well, I don't know, you pick. And he's just stuck in that limbo. It's
Speaking from personal experience,
everyone knows how difficult it is to pick someone to go for dinner.
Yeah, it's true. Or go for steak. No, not that.
Exactly.
Smoke is up here. Finesse. Bit of a mountainous task ahead of him, but somehow he lands a headshot right through. He's going to be replied upon immediately. Ricky comes through, picks up the 3rd kill of the game for himself, and now they're just trickling into the bomb site one at a time. Cutler, next in line. Can he wait for Ethan here, or is he just going to try and go for it? Yeah, he's walked right through, and Skadoodle going to shoot him in the back, and this whole thing, no chance. I mean, every new person that walks up to that corner thinks, now's the time. If I do it right now, I can change the round. They die, and then the next person's like, well, but man, now's the time.
I'm not 100% certain. To be fair, I'm probably only like 33% certain. But I think FNS got Molotov by his teammates in that situation because he smoked off the top of Banana, right, as they were executing. And then he pushed to like make sure they couldn't run through the smoke, and he was going to be that first line of defense and take down as many as he could and be in a forward position, so hopefully flashes were going behind him. But a Molotov landed directly behind him, which is basically where the stairs were to go into the B site. That means if the T's threw it, they were going to have to run through their own Molotov to get into the bomb site or make a very awkward jump around the box. So I think maybe his first rotator may have Molotoved him and forced him to stay in that fight, which is not what you need.
Sort of a World War I approach, really, isn't it?
Maybe they're just I think it's probably just a misunderstanding. Maybe poor communication, or whoever was rotating thought they were helping in that situation, and FNS had other ideas. He wanted to get a bit more aggressive to try and stifle that attack. Not the end goal that came out there. But I think something to look at right now for Cloud9, if we just bring open the scoreboard, you can see that the Cloud9 guys are fragging relatively easily. So evenly, not easily. Automatic is on 9 kills, Shroud's on 7, Stewie's on 7, and then Nothing and Skadoodle like have 5 apiece. There's been quite a few saves, so that's why the frags aren't higher than they are right now. But they're all doing it. They're all doing this as a team, and they're getting territory, and they're playing as a squad in this game, which is something we didn't see yesterday. They were getting peeled and picked off one at a time by Immortals.
Yeah, and I think I was making the point earlier on the desk that if CLG can have Ethan and Ricky and Kusta all do well, then that's a really good team. But right now, it's Ethan, and then Ricky and Kusta are at 2 and 3 kills respectively. that's a big problem when you've got, you know, those three are sort of part of the main engine, you know.
They haven't really had, you know, the gun round where they can get double AWPs up. I think Rick on that arch side would be really good with an AWP because it means he can hang around in mid a lot longer and not get bullied off the line by utility as much. You always seem to have a, I don't know, a few more balls in that situation. When I used to play against Rick in Immunity, he was the main AWPer and he was very effective on that side of the map. He would always be moved around to B when they needed, and he could even make it work on the T side. So I know he's got it up his sleeve. Whether he gets to show it is another thing.
For a short moment there, we had the B Classic, or the Inferno Classic, with Kusta holding over at the B side alone, and then 4 here on the A side. Automatic is still allowed to push all the way into Arch and takes down FNS. So even 4 members here wasn't enough to keep him back, and now they're wrapping around to the B bomb side. Automatic ready and waiting. Ricky walking in, and the timing is so good here for the Cloud9 player. Unbelievably smart play. 5 versus 3, in fact, here. Kusta is about to be in a world of trouble. I see no way out of this. He goes for the quick flick and almost takes down Stewie's second Shroud. Or second shot will take down Shroud. Now he's peeking again, takes down Stewie. Unbelievably good play from Kusta here. He's looking for more. Smoke is up. He's actually hiding inside and he's buying so much time. His teammates are miles away. Oh my god, Kusta! He goes for the no-scope. He takes him down. Flick comes out. He can't get it. Skadoodle takes him down, but that's a godlike play. Kusta with 4 kills, trapped in the corner, and he still makes that work. Now it's Skadoodle, 1-on-2. And he's behind the new box. They've already used all of their grenades. They've got to win this one. Kusta will never forgive them. Cutler's gone down, and he shot him right through his legs. If you see the instant replay of that, I'm sure that was right between his legs, and Ethan will take him down. We've got to build a statue, a monument here for Kusta on this bomb site.
Boy, oh boy, that was insane. Just sitting in the back of the site, hitting shot after shot. They got super close. He was able to hit some crazy flick, no scope, quick scope, whatever you want to call it. That was a huge play from Kusta. Wow. What can you say about that one?
Yes, what indeed. I mean, especially when the first shot isn't even a kill.
Yeah.
You think, that's not how you want to get started. And then he hit inside of his own smoke and got out. And even I just don't even know. This is too much to handle, isn't it?
Those are the players you need if you want to have a chance here at making it to the major qualifiers. So, Kusta making his mark.
That is very impressive.
Okay, that's going to be a little bit crushing for Cloud9. They had that in the bag. Automatic had all the map control in the world from that arch side frag, and then he was even stopping the rotation. It was literally 4 players. All they had to do was walk in and kill 1 guy. And Kusta says, nah, not having any of it. Stops the attack on his own. Ethan comes in with the 1v1 mop up, and wow, that's a really important round for CLG, because if they do take this one, the economy of Cloud9 will be broken. Absolutely in the bin.
Yeah, and consequently, with the other side of that, if they lose it themselves, their economy's gone too. So everything, or at least sort of the rest of this half here, really hinges on this round, more or less.
Pivotal point in the half, indeed. Looks like they wanted to go through Arch again. Going through their own smokes was automatic. He's going to get taken by Ricky, who's dropped right back. He can't help the rest of the A defenders right now. Ethan and Cutler stuck in the site and pit respectively. Stewie's going to find 1, and now Cutler's isolated.
And he's in a lot of trouble. Grenades are raining down at all sides, and he will go down. So 3-on-3 for the retake. Much more doable. The bomb is not even planted yet, so they can have time to get into position, and they at least have some flashbangs here. This can be done.
Yeah, this is the first time they're really going for this A retake. They have an equal man advantage, or not advantage, equal men across the board. And playing together on that diggity side is FNS and Ricky. Kusta just shooting off some bullets, trying to keep them entertained. The flash comes in towards Pit, so here comes the retake.
Going for the first shot there. Stewie's gone down already. FNS with the frag picks up the second as well, and nothing hiding in the back. They haven't seen him yet, but they're going to make quick work of that one. That's FNS picking up all 3 kills.
We've been talking in the green room about how effective he seems in a lot of these situations. Even on the T side, like they've lost a couple of guys. He just comes on in. We saw it on Train earlier. He swung down the low ramp, made 3 frags to push CLG across the line, and he's done it again here. He's not really known for his huge fragging prowess, but having impact plays like this, it's better than getting, a 4K eco slaw. This is huge.
Yeah, just very, very well played. And you're right, he isn't known for that. I think in somewhere in like 2015, I think I was ready to write FNS off as like a CS:GO player. Maybe that sounds really harsh, but
no, it doesn't sound harsh.
I just felt like he wasn't improving, and I couldn't see a way that he could either. It just didn't seem like it was it was ever going to happen, really.
The weird thing with that roster, right, they kind of got thrust into the limelight after they had that win over Day's team. And from there, they got picked up into organizations when all this was starting to kick off. So that's smoke.
Yeah?
Yeah, you saw it.
Yeah, can I point out?
Yeah, you can.
This is the one that this flashbang is going to land and actually flash people underneath the canopy, and no one is there, but I spend a good 7 hours on this map trying to figure this out, so I'm happy that someone's been watching that video. Cutler goes for the massive spray down. In fact, they were nice enough to line up for him in the end. That's really cool.
I think that's actually a strat that NIP had made, and they've just copied that. But they've obviously used your flashes.
Yes, because, and the reason, so this is what happens whenever I do these things. So I spent an enormous amount of time coming up with some of this stuff, and then I actually usually show it to a couple of pros and ask, does this make sense? Like, have I just been wasting my time or what?
Yeah.
So I think maybe Freiburg or somebody else was one of the first people I sort of talked to about it. So yeah, I still think it can work, and you can throw smoke from that position as well that lands towards Archway, so that you're actually covered when you're running out the middle. Like if they did it in this round, it would flash both those players, even if they're standing underneath there. That goes far enough into the lane that it actually flashes them fully. So
the good thing with it as well that I've noticed when I've seen it done by NIP is the two boiler players are able to run out kind of on the second flash, and when it comes down, it lands behind them. So anybody picking from side or pit will be flashed, and they have their backs facing it. So they're able to just run straight into the side and entry. It's a pretty effective strategy, actually.
Let's see. The only thing is you sort of the gamble part, I suppose, if you don't know if they're there or not.
Exactly.
This time there was not so much luck. Here it is, the 15th round coming in. We've got one Galil, a couple of AKs, and really a big lack of utility on the Cloud9 side. Those Molotovs are huge. We want to get people out of the pit, and they don't have them right now. That could be a problem for later on. The bomb, though, is over on the other side. What do you make of this, Chad?
It feels like they want to keep playing on the weakness that they found, which has been Ricky on that Arch side. He's been exploited a lot by Automatic so far, and it looks like they're set up for a B split, but as I say that, the two Banana players drop back all the way. It's going to be an A attack. As FNS flashes out, finds the information, and at this point right now, CLG know what's up. Yeah,
that's a lot of info. You're absolutely right. Ethan is ready to just pop out a little bit of a flashbang there to buy time. They're actually rotating back. Oh no. Kusta is alone on the bomb side once again. And nothing, just making a lot of noise. That's drawing everyone. All three players on the A side, they have to stay here and wait till nothing is going down. Now, finally, that's happened. Kusta in a new position, and he takes down Skadoodle. No problem at all. He does a little bit of damage, takes down Stu with a leg shot. He's done his job so far, and now Shroud will drop Ricky as well. So, no time for a bomb plant. He's simply run out of time. Oh, no. I think he lost time on the clock. I almost didn't notice either, but that's 8-7 in the first half. In favor of CLG.
Look at the kill spread on the Ts. They won 7 rounds relatively convincingly, I would have to say, and they barely have any kills compared to CLG, who had to fight back in. They only have one more round, and there's a higher kill spread or more frags across the board. So that just shows how much CLG saved, which gave them more chances in future rounds, right, to have a few more guns. But something interesting, is having your B player anchor with the AWP. Normally you wanted a rifler who can delay a lot. He can shoot more bullets. He has a chance to juke around boxes and stuff. The AWP's kind of rooted in one position, and if it's Kusta hitting shots like that, I guess, hey, it works.
Yeah, more power to them. Now, so you see this 3-man walk up second mid, right?
Yep.
It used to be a lot, especially if you remember JW on Fnatic. He would run into apartments or CPL if you prefer, and actually just make a quick jump that would sort of make a spot down second mid. I feel like that's such a powerful play on the CT side, because then you know that a lot is coming here. They do have the flashbang, but it's not going to be thrown from mid like it usually is. This is going to be just a cascade into the A-bomb side, and God help anyone who's on there. The Glocks are coming. Nothing's already been shot in the face. He's trying to jiggle peek it, but it just won't work. Cutler takes him down, and next in line in the pit, a lot of trouble for Shroud. He goes down. Skadoodle's found the only refrag up until this point. Automatic taking a headshot on FNS and walking around the corner. Cancels the bomb plan. That's a massive play coming out, but Ethan is there. He takes one, and Kastui is so low, you have to think this is still CLG's round. Automatic, he's been very good today, but this might be just a bit too big of an ask even for him. He's trying to find that click now. The bomb is going down. They feel confident in doing it, so all the pressure here is on Cloud9. And Automatic making the jump up. He needs to open this up. He can't really rely on Stewie, maybe only for the flashbang, if anything, but Stewie's not even going to try for it. He's waiting on the other side. They're almost out of bullets as well. This is getting really dicey at the moment. They might have waited too long. There's a shot from one. Stewie picks up the next one, and now It is a one-on-one. He's in the corner. It's going to be the full defuse. Cutler, he's down in the pit. He's going to make his way up, and there it is, the triple kill. Cutler closing out was an incredibly long battle for that retake.
Yeah, that got
CLG
tight.
make it work.
Stewie hit some nice shots on that retake just there. Something to note, if what I spoke about before, doing the transitional defense on the CT side, if they just had someone at the end of holes, jiggle spotting that corner, they would have seen all those players come into apps, and he could have dropped back into pit into that same position. But what it would have meant was they had information what was happening. Instead, when you sit that far back, sure, if a rush happens, you're probably in a better position, right? I definitely would agree with that. Maybe middle more so than holes. Holes, if they rush holes, you still have enough time to get away, for sure. In that situation, it's just curious as to why you want to sit that reserved with USPs when flashes are so potent.
Oh!
Good night.
In spite of the aim punch, he actually gets that shot on Kusta.
Maybe because of the aim punch.
Or maybe
Anders.
because.
Wouldn't that be nice?
We need a 3000 FPS slow motion to really calculate that one. Well, you already highlighted the power of the C-75 and the pistols on a map like this when you got the armor too.
Scouts as well, I think, are super effective on a map like this because you can do the same thing. You can scout either side of middle, and then you can drop back and you can play a scout in library. You can play a scout even jump spotting in pit if you want to know. It's not as effective as it used to be, but there's still that chance. And you just have to tag up. Once players are hurt, they walk into your CZ, your 5.7s, your P250s. It's almost a free frag. The guy's only on 30 HP.
Stewie and nothing holding over on this side, and they do actually have a flashbang each, so they could buy time, and they could maybe even get a kill. This is...
Yeah.
I would take a deep breath right now if I was CLG. This next engagement has to be pretty much perfect. A little bit of noise has been made. There comes the flash out, and Stewie picks up the kill right away now. Falling back, some great spray through from Ethan there, picking up both those kills. That's really valuable. And that may have been enough to have done it here.
Yeah, now the question is, does Shroud and Automatic try and hold on to what they have? I would probably go with yes. You can take it into the next round and still be effective, or at least try and grab a few more frags, as opposed to throwing it away in this situation. I think going for kills here when the bomb is down and they're playing this post-plant situation very well. They've got their crossfires set up. Maybe you're just going to go for exits here, because if you can damage the economy in any way, that's better than nothing, I suppose.
Yes, indeed. And, I mean, will they even exit out this way? I don't see why CLG would try and do that.
Bananas always seems to be the safe bet, right?
Yeah, so maybe if they catch some of them, if they come out. Actually, they will, but Cutler already with the first shot there, and Shroud not going to survive this either. So
yeah, see, I don't get that. I know they wanted to go for exits, but they weren't really in places, especially Automatic, one where he could get away. So they couldn't even hold on to the pistols or the scout that they had in their hands at that point in time. And right now, you see, their money situation, they have to almost take a full eco. Maybe Automatic can grab himself a P250 or a flash to try and help out the rest of the team. Scooter wants to hold on to money for that AWP. Nothing in Shroud. If you look at this, they're either going to have to buy a UMP to get full utility, maybe even a FAMAS to help out a little bit, or an M4 with not a lot. So this is the same trap that CLG fell into early, but they were able to make an aggressive move happen. So that's what we're going to need to see out of Cloud9 on their first gun round. This should just be a wash.
yeah, there's not even any stack or any kind of elaborate trap that's been set up somewhere, so it shouldn't be much of a problem.
So what they should do is let Kusta try and go in with that Mac 10 to see how many he can find. Have people flashing for him. Have someone there watching a line so he doesn't have to worry about everything on his own. But still let him go in to try and seek out. And if you give up that Mac 10, it's not as bad as if you give up an AK. Looks like they want to have him going in first, and maybe that's what's going to happen as the counter boost will come out from the CTs to look over that smoke. And Kusta's so deep right now. Yeah,
that's a great jump to make it up onto the coffins. I really like that. Still just running for it here. Taking a lot of damage in that one engagement, but it's only Shroud that's left right now. So I'd say job well done on Kusta. That boost, though, that you were just highlighting, that goes on towards the CT side, right where that corpse is.
Yep.
That's been just terrorizing teams on this map since it came out.
It can be used like for the CTs to either just hold from, which has almost been figured out now. When teams are pushing in, they stay close to their CT smoke, and then once they get across the pool, pocket, yellow, whatever you want to call it, then they pick the boost from there. Makes it harder for the CT to hold. But on the retakes, I think it's where it's really effective. And I think it's a cool little addition, because it evens up the retake on that B side. Normally, it'd be very difficult for the CTs. But once that boost is in place, and if you hold onto your utility at the A side, or even just a little bit of it, I think it's more than manageable. Let's see if an aggressive move comes out. As you can see, those FAMASs I mentioned, I think we're seeing a swing away, Anders, on these anti-ecos from SMGs. I know we were in the era of UMPs. I think we're seeing a slight swing away from that in recent times.
Yeah, I think even going back slightly before this qualifier, that started to happen, and now it's still spreading the ripples from that change, just moving outwards. And
I'm happy about that, to tell you the truth.
I am happy about that. I still wish there was a way to make the burst fire functional on the FAMAS.
Yeah, I agree. It's just really, like, I tried for a while practicing a lot with it to see how viable it was. It's just, if it was a little bit more accurate, I think it would be fantastic. And, you know, more people would be buying that weapon and using it at range for sure.
Well, we do have automatic in that boost position, which is very reasonable. Again, they're going to try and smoke off on the low ground. You could just sort of watch over it.
Yeah.
So not a difficult crossfire to set up. This one, anyone could do this, even in matchmaking. So just make note of that if you don't know it. Oh, this flashbang everybody loves. Goes out on the chimney and lands towards the other side. It's going to keep at least 3 people on the side. So far, automatic trying to fall back, but he does get caught. Gets a kill in the meantime, at least. Stewie smoking off, but he is trapped in this corner. And with FNS jumping up on the box, there's no way out of that one. That's some quick thinking from FNS.
I love that way to entry the bomb site now. It opens up so many more angles the CTs have to worry about. And they're going to get themselves in a 3-on-3 situation in this bomb site where Skadoodle's going to get FNS being maybe a little bit adventurous there, trying to jump across to get towards connector.
Normally, he wouldn't do that. Cutler also goes down right away, and now Ethan, he's in so much trouble. We've already seen what happens if you go through this smoke.
Oh,
he's
boy.
waiting for them. They are coming out. Skadoodle is there. He hasn't fired the gun yet. Ethan!
Oh.
That was so smart, but the execution was so bad.
He whiffed a situation where he could have, you know, won the round single-handedly right there. If he had grabbed one of those kills, maybe even the second, he could have fallen back into that smoke, played around the corner and given himself a fair chance in that 1v1. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be the case. He did miss, and Cloud9 are going to capitalize. I don't know why FNS was jumping across in that situation.
Do you think that he thought, if I do it now, I'll do it right before they get here, and it'll be fine. And if I wait, maybe they'll Molotov me out. Was he afraid that they had an incendiary grenade left?
That would be in the back of your mind, right? But to take that risk, it just seems like the chance of them not being there is smaller than them having a Molotov, right? I mean, it's bigger than them having a Molotov. So I probably would have just waited it out, and then you could have dueled while in the Molotov and you know, surprised them, because he still had a fair amount of HP. And it's no real biggie. They can afford some guns again. They do this default spread, and as we saw that round, they had Ethan get all the way to the Ender Hall, sell that fake. Everyone else would use their utility also, and when they went back to B, they didn't even have one for CT spawn, just a couple of flashes. Did trade out onto the side effectively. It was just a post plant, so they can't really be too down with the strategy itself. It was just the execution in the end that didn't come through. And it looks like they're really posturing for an A attack, as all 5 members are over towards that top mid boiler holes part of the map, and Cloud9 are cheating automatic back over to stop this.
Shroud looking into the corner, avoiding any flashbangs, and automatic on the crossfire here. They line up for Shroud. He knew about the first kill. The second was just a bonus. It's always nice.
Yeah, I'm a bit upset that they didn't just stick with their default and run the clock down to the end, because they were so close to working, right? Like, I know that it was a flawless retake in the end for Cloud9 on that B site, but the strat itself, getting the bomb site, all of that was effective. I'm not saying run the same thing, but at least, you know, play a similar timer. Let it run down, let Cloud9 whittle down their utility and not have anything left to just Molotov you off in situations like that and get mowed down, hoping your flashes land perfectly, right? Because your flashes can only cover so many different angles, so many different corners. You can't physically get everywhere unless you have some intricate execute where everyone has, I don't know, 2 flashes each and everything is perfect. But that's not possible in Counter-Strike.
Now, if I was just joining this game now, I see that CLG have won the pistol in the next 2 rounds, and now Cloud9, they buy rifles, they start winning. So I would say now CLG have to think, we just need 5 more rounds. How do we get them, and what's the plan? Because this is looking like it could be a real uphill second half for them, and one where Cloud9 could absolutely overtake them and win it. Yeah,
well, they just got the AWP into the... Oh, no, they didn't get the AWP. They've force-spotted into this one. I saw that Cutler had enough to buy an AWP. I thought maybe he might drop one, but it looks like they want to keep the tempo going in the fight here, which I don't think is necessary, because they've let Cloud9 build a small bank, a very small bank. I think they could have taken an eco and gotten up full guns, full utility, and had an even fight like that, but it appears they don't want to let that build too high. Now, in terms of the approach, I would prefer them to go back to the slow style, like I was just mentioning, wait out the utility of Cloud9 and go from there. But in which bomb site you're going to hit, I think that's something which needs to be predetermined from spawn. It's fine to say, let's do our default and wait out utility. You have to react if Cloud9 throws something at you, but I think you need to have an idea of where you want to go so everybody understands what the end goal is going to be. That can change mid-round, but you just need that kind of direction early on so people understand and don't overextend in certain situations. But it is going to be a B hit by the looks of things.
I like that Molotov from Stewie. It's a shame that they didn't have more of a follow-up behind it, but that's pretty cool.
That could build into what we were talking about with the top of banana retake for sure. And
yeah.
See, look at this. Right now, the Cloud9 players, Nothing and Shroud, are playing very passive. They have no information on A, but still, Cloud9 have rotated Skadoodle over. They have 3 players waiting in that B bomb site for this hit. And it is a double pump, as I call it, coming into this B site. So they've already attacked once. They've tried to bait out the utility from Cloud9, and they're going to attack again. They're just going to have to hope for a lot of entry frags here.
Skadoodle lining it up through the smoke, doesn't even care, and Ethan has also gone down automatic with a good double spray. Skadoodle doing his job to perfection at the moment. Cutler trapped in yellow, and he will go down. That's a triple for automatic, and another round for Cloud9 here.
Take a pause, CLG. Just calm down, talk to your coach, right? That style before, I'm going to keep saying it, it almost won them the round, right? They did a lot of things right in that slower situation. I think they just need to calm down, go back to that default spread, and let things settle. I know they can just take like an, I guess we call it like an eco timeout, right? Where you just kind of chill and spawn and talk about things, but your coach can't talk to you in this situation. So probably not as effective as a real pause if you want the coach's input.
Well, we do have a round here with just some pistols. So I'm assuming they'll get cleaned up. So I'll ask your opinion about something else.
Okay.
For the Counter-Strike aficionados out there who may also remember, the Envy execute, where you line up outside of the of CPL or outside of the window room.
Old middle, yep.
And you smoke towards Arch and Library, and then you wrap around and actually
run through it.
Yeah, you run through it. That used to be incredibly effective, and Envy would crush everybody, even if they knew it was coming. It used to work so well. You seen that done on the new version here?
A very similar one done by one of the French teams. I'm not quite sure if it was Envy or G2. They did have something very similar of that execute. The thing with it is it's when you place that execute into the rotation and knowing when it is best suited to what style of team, because it's not going to work against everyone, especially a team that plays that transitional defense, because those smokes have to land. If you know what kind of execute's coming in, you just lay down your Molotovs and you lay down your utility and they can't run through it. It's something that you need to see come in when you know that they're on a lower buy, when they don't have all the nades, or if you're happy to wait out a little bit of utility and throw it later. But that strategy from Envy would always come out within the first, I guess, 30 seconds. But it's something which even I stole and used in the Renegades days. But I've definitely seen something similar come out of the Frenchman.
All right. Well, I always thought, I think that was towards the end of the Envy era. Like, they did that and it worked really well, and then when it stopped working, it seemed like the team...
That's all they had, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was for a while, and I think that was also maybe around the team when the team was sort of disintegrating a bit anyway, but I think that was one of the highlights for that era anyway, like one of the really impactful strats, and that's what they would do it with Tech9 and win, you know?
Yeah. They have the AWP on Kusta right now, Anders, and what I think they need to do is create space in middle, get the Molotovs and smokes off, push back these mid holders of Shroud and Automatic, and then get Kusta up middle with that AWP so he can pick towards the Arch side, pick towards Pit, and make sure it's effective. He can use it at some good ranges.
Well, they haven't pushed them back, and here's the result. Automatic getting 2 big kills, but there's the return. They're running through the Molotov. Kusta doesn't care. He wants the fight, and he's going to get it. How does he find that frag on Skadoodle? Running with the AWP and not even stopping. Stewie now in a 1-on-2. And the bomb has been planted as well. CLG, surely they just need to hide. And actually, Kusta's going to get the frag regardless. That's a triple kill here for the CLG AWP. Incredibly well played. But
there we go.
Ricky also had a Molotov, so imagine how difficult that would have been for Stewie anyway.
Wouldn't have been easy, that's for sure. I thought that was all going to fall apart because the way that Cloud9 played that, they were more than happy to take that duel. They wanted to kill them as they came out of the choke point. But when they made those trades towards the quad side, Kusta picking up that AWP frag was very important. It looked like they were just going to be able to run into the site. Skadoodle was already there. He had already made his way over, found one, but that shot from Kusta, we didn't see it from his perspective, but I'm sure it must have been huge.
Yeah, that looked really, really well timed.
So Cloud9, on the other hand, right now, they're in a position where their economy can get broken here. They need to just hold on and see if they can squeeze out some rounds. Still happy to play close middle, and they've already got banana control, as you can see by Automatic. He's pushed all the way down, spamming some bullets through, hoping that forces players over towards the A bomb site into the hands of Skadoodle with the AWP on Arch side. But CLG, I'm very happy to say, have just slowed it down. This is the best style I think they can do. Once you even things up against Cloud9, they love making multi-frags through smoke. That's where they thrive. So you don't want to give them that. But Skadoodle's going to find a free frag there on Ethan.
Oh, bumping into each other. That could have been slightly dangerous if they had all come rushing out. But You see CLG, on the other hand, were a bit indecisive, actually. Looked like one of them wanted to run out, and the other ones were like, we'll just wait here.
I guess once you find that they do have an AWP up, because maybe you thought, what have they won? They've won. Winning that round, maybe they thought they would have broken the economy a little bit more, that Skadoodle couldn't get the AWP up, but he has managed to do so. He was positioned to take down Ethan, who overstepped that situation. And now they have to change their tack, and there's only 40 seconds left. They still have probably enough utility to pull off a bomb site attack, but to get to the top of, say, Banana, they might need to use some flashes and nades.
Oh.
That's nice. This is nice.
This is a bit of a fake. Stewie trying with the mind games with 24 seconds left. They have no idea. Kuster, he's eaten this hook, line, and sinker. That is such a great mind game, and the bomb is making its way into the pit. If he goes down, that's round over, and that's going to be it. No chance here. Finesse just running away. Man.
Stewie is such an annoying player. How annoyed would you be? It's like, man. Like, he's throwing that smoke. You're just assuming he's just holding off from the B site, but instead he's played like a bit of a weasel, hidden behind the sandbags and able to grab a frag. I remember playing against him in Pugs, man. It's tilt-worthy, just running through smokes, always doing those gimmicky kind of plays, but it works. The kid's a master.
I can taste the salt in your voice, Chad, and you're not even playing in the game. What's happening?
Because I can just see, you should be checking that corner if you're Kuster, but when the pressure's on, the clock's running down, that's when mistakes are made, and little plays like that can be capitalized on, and Stewie's able to make magic happen in that situation. The AWP save right here, depending on how this round is approached from Cloud9, could be very effective. They know the AWP's been saved, right? They know that's in the hand. So how do you approach this? You don't want to give away any free kills. You don't want to be overstepping any corners. You don't want to wide peek anything, giving Kuster a chance to get in it. You just want to make sure you're playing it safe. And Stewie not playing it safe, of course. Oh.
Absolutely not. Potentially very risky if someone had been, which people do sort of aim over that smoke. So could have been a bit scary. But now it seems like everything's calmed down a bit, and it feels like it will be very hard for Kuster to find any opening here.
Yeah, something to note, while this round is unfolding, is they have their two strongest players in my mind holding that B side, which means they're always going to be very proactive there, because we know that they like to be aggressive, they like to push smokes, they always like to do those kind of plays. And then the way that they approach that, because their A players are the anchors, Skadoodle likes to sit and wait. Nothing is a bit of a hybrid. He's in between, and Shroud is definitely a bomb site anchor. They always swing automatic over when they want to play a little bit more aggressive, right? They play him close mid and stuff. So that's how they kind of fix the issue of not having any aggression at all. You can see, look how reserved those A players are. One sitting all the way back mini pit, one in the site, one in pit. Everyone's more than happy. And this is what I'm saying. This is how you don't give away a kill. This is how you play it safe. And we'll end up going B, and this is going to be a super difficult bomb site for them to find any entries with where the Cloud9 players are holding from.
They basically need the first frag to go in really quick, and then it's going to be difficult. And the grenade and the follow-up there, nothing has gone down, but that doesn't really matter on the other side. Kuster actually getting baited out with a shot. That's a nice little move from Automatic, and now the chase is on. The round is over here. There's only 4 seconds left, so they can't really win it any longer.
He's going to die.
Gets a kill, and the clock has run out, and yes, I think he's still going to die. That's a big problem.
Man, that's such a blunder right there. Kuster should have, this is the indecisiveness I'm talking about. Kuster now has, no money. He died after the time. For those that are playing at home who don't know, if you die after the time on the T side, you get nothing.
Yes.
You don't get any money bonus. So Kuster being indecisive in that situation, he was better off just dying.
Yeah,
of course they were going to close him down and chase him. Just die in that situation, because right now you have $950. What are you going to get?
Unreasonable.
Maybe a train ticket.
How far are you going for $950?
Oh, wait, they live in LA. I was going to say to go home.
Oh, right.
I don't know, the Euro train's pretty expensive, isn't it? The one you got here, going through all the different countries?
I've never done that.
Oh, okay.
So I wouldn't. I think 900 is probably close to the mark. Probably.
This is the hurdle that CLG stumbled on last time they played Cloud9. It just felt like they were making bad economic decisions in these kind of situations, and maybe they need some faster plays, some really dry-run, well-paced rushes that they can just have openings when things aren't working. So far, it always seems very execute or default-based. There's not a lot of sporadic openings to give people like Ricky a chance to get stuck in. Even Ethan's really good in these openings, actually probably the best on this side. So Force Spy will come in once again from CLG. They don't have a lot of utility to work with. This is where one of those players that I was talking about would come in handy.
I would like it. I still think they should try and hit Archway a bit more. Even if Skadoodle is there and he is
Yeah.
He's been pretty good. I would still like to see them try and force him down.
I want to talk to you, Anders, about something which I've seen NIP doing more recently, but I think it was introduced by SK onto this map, is where they do a deeper smoke, so the smoke lands, no one else can see it besides Anders, but we're just theory crafting, lands here.
Yeah.
And then they Molotov out trash.
Yeah.
And what that means is this Arch player, he has to drop all the way back because either he has to push into the smoke, into the Molotov, or right into your line of sight. So it's a much better way to take that part of the map. But as you said, they're going up middle, and Shroud is just milking them.
Yeah, he's essentially playing an aim map right here. That's the 4th kill coming in. He won't get the ace, but I still think that's job well done.
For sure, yeah. Look, automatic Shroud. They're on 25 for automatic, 20 for Shroud. Skadoodle and Stewie are on 15 and 16, and then Nothing is down there on 10 frags. So, you know, it's automatic and Shroud are running away with it on this second half.
Listen, I'm going to stand my ground. They're picking up sort of Tech9 and Armor in what is a bit of sort of a half buy here, just to try and even out the economy a bit.
Yep.
They haven't gone all in, but the scoreline is 14-12.
Yeah.
I still want to see like a fast mid-arch rush.
Yeah,
you know?
do it. They've stuffed up so much with the economy at this point. They're getting close. They're just tripping at one major hurdle here, and if they were able to have a move that was faster, like I'm saying, and like you're saying, it gives them a chance to mix up the pace, which is what Cloud9 did really well on their first half. You saw them do the slower pace stuff early, then they threw in that mid-rush, and Stewie right now, he wants these eco frags. He wants to get some kills.
Stewie, give him a chance. They're struggling to find any hope at all, and while they're setting up there, that, by the way, sort of, I mean, I don't think that's what was going to happen because they didn't really have the smokes for it, but that is the position where you do the envy execute from, more or less. So, not going to happen this time. Instead, now they're just shuffling about at top mid, not really having, I think, any way out other than death.
Yeah, it's pretty grim right now, and they're playing for the draw as well to push this one into overtime. So I hope they have that mix-up of pace coming in for the next gun round. Otherwise, it's just going to be all over Red Rover. Just quickly bringing up the stats right now. I think this is the worst game Ricky has had so far.
Yeah. This has been really tough. That first half was dreadful.
Yeah, when he played CLG the first time, he also had a bit of a struggle.
All right, Skadoodle. I thought Kuster and him could see each other earlier.
Maybe they got old man eyes like me.
Yeah, the staring contest in the middle of the game.
Yeah, we need something like an eye test for Counter-Strike players, because I swear I miss like half of the things. Looking at my crosshair, not seeing anything happen. And I use 4x3, so I have no excuse. What is happening?
They're changing this game. I don't know. You're the analyst, Chad. Tell me, how did they win? How are they coming back into this? Right, they wrapped around through CT spawn with a couple of players, and now they're actually still in contention, although just as we're getting excited, it's up to Cutler with the Deagle and no armor here. They don't have any smoke. I mean, they can't at least smoke him out, but tapping the bomb once, and they are waiting for him. They're not quite sure. Oh, Cutler whiffing the first shot, giving away his position, and oh, he gets a shot through, but he can't make it work. One more time, and it would have been there. That's 15 rounds for Cloud9 here, and they're almost there. They're almost at the finish line, at least for the first map. It's only the first map.
Here's my theory. When I start talking about things just in a completely like mundane kind of way, these crazy rounds happen.
Can you do it more than I like it?
Yeah, so we had that with Skadoodle, was it yesterday? It feels like a lifetime ago, but where he had that 1v5 situation, and there I am talking about the mistakes that Cloud9 made, and he's just busy styling on them, so...
Oh, now it's the double orb.
Oh, here we go. This is where things can get very spicy, because you have two aggressive... Well, you have Stewie, who's aggressive, and Skadoodle, who's hitting shots when he's playing passive. So this little boost here they're using on top of Banana, you can actually counter it if you know it's coming, but Ricky had no idea, and he goes down early. The woes continue for Ricky.
That's incredibly dirty.
Yeah, something which SK were doing, I think, which got countered like super hard by FaZe in one of the matches I saw. Alu like crouched out and then stood up exactly in like the line of sight for where Fallen was, just went peekaboo, and like was basically pre-shooting that line, took him down before he could even react. So there are adjustments if you know a team likes to run it, but Stewie's thrown that in as a you know, a bit of a surprise.
There's a bit of a chicken casualty up in that Molotov. That will happen, but 4 versus 5 right now, trying to make the wrap around. FNS has made his way in towards Archway and actually pushing Stewie, I think, all the way back. So that's a bit interesting. And now he's going back through the smoke. He's creating a lot of space for his team, but they still need to get out of quad somehow. If he had landed that shot, that would have been perfect. You already highlighted that position, and Shroud is using it very well at the moment. Now, can they break the crossfire? They've got to move quick, otherwise the rotation is going to come in from the rest of the CT side. Cutler gets a kill, Shroud goes down, and now it's just Kuster. He lands 2 big kills, and gives himself a slight opening here, but he has to go and pick up the bomb. It's right there, but if he doesn't plant it right now, they're going to be so close he can't even do it anymore. Picks up an AK instead. Might be the better choice. The bomb is down now. Kusta, he's done it before. At this time, it would keep them in the map and maybe have the fight for overtime be a real thing. He's turning his back, and there's just no way out here. Automatic will take him down, and that's going to be it. 16-12 here in favor of Cloud9 for the first map in this best of 3. But still, what an explosive match. I think they could have done this CLG, but they just